Previously on Eden Zero, Holy, having found out that Cure, of the same group as her, the Oratian says Interstellar, was none other than the entity behind Dead End Crow, as well as various other atrocities committed across the various galaxies. She did her best to try to take down Holy, to take down Cure. The real enemy was herself. Honestly, her anger, as she didn't want to retreat when Jin suggested it, but ultimately he was able to convince her, and thanks to Holy's ability, they were able to expose Dead End Crow's core. But Dead End Crow's body started to heal over the area, making it so that the Eden Zero wasn't able to fire its cannon to take the creature down. But thanks to the intervention of the other members of the Horatio Says Interstellar, who discovered that Cure was hiding quite a few things, came in and helped out, with Eraser destroying some of what was trying to cover up the core, and Feather helping the Eden Zero to better lock onto the core, and thus Cure was seemingly destroyed alongside Dead End Crow. Holy's nightmare had come to an end. Meanwhile, Shiki's nightmare of facing off against Ziggy was still in perpetual motion, as Ziggy had overwhelmed Shiki, only for Pino to arrive, hoping to change the tide of the battle. What'll happen next? What is Pino's plan? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Eden Zero. I love it. Got Sister and Moscow looking like delinquents. Chapter 209, Renewed Time. Oh boy. Time shenanigans, here we come again. Alright, we have the crater, which is where Dead End Crow used to stand. Does this mean that Cure might have survived? He does have the ability to repair at least one thing at any given time. Captain Connor shouts, "We did it!" Moscow says, Moskoi! But ever cautious, Hermit says, "Wait, we're not out of the woods yet. The Union Army's still here." But they chime in, with Eraser saying, "Don't worry, we're not here to fight you. Not today, anyway." Much to the shock of Hermit. Feather adds in, "I have confirmed the eradication of Dead End Crow, aka Cure." They put that together real fast. Even Holy questions, "You knew who Cure really was?" Eraser chimes in, "We only just found out." Feather adds, "The members of Horatio Says Interstellar have never met in person." That is true. They always only show up on comms. So much like the Horatio Says Galactica, they're not really like together. They're organized, but it's not like they work personally close to each other. Feather says, "Our councils are always held online, and during joint operations, we've only spoken via comm channels from our individual ship." Makes a bit of sense. "I never had any interest in my allies' locations until today, so she never really thought to check to see if they were actually where they were supposed to be." Racer adds, "But during this joint operation, she realized that Cure's ship was unmanned." Feather states, "Cure's location shared the exact same coordinates as Crow's, and it always has. For 13 years. Damn. It is odd that Cure never accounted for Feather's ability. I guess he always just assumed that she would never really think to try to make sure of her ally's location. I guess maybe he got away with it once and he just thought he would always get away with it like that. A little convenient, but I'll accept it. I mean, hey, we've never met in person, have we?" Laguna says, "So you're saying the whole time this Cure was in the government army, he was also Dead End Crow?" Klein says, "That makes no sense." Jin states, "But he's been working with someone who has the same power as Noah, you know. You know exactly where everyone is. How did he manage not to get caught for more than a decade?" Feather simply says, "That was a failure on my part." Eraser adds in, "Come on, guys. Let's not blame Feather. None of us figured it out. That makes us all stupid." And Feather says, "Stupid? I don't blame her for taking offense to that. It's just like, ouch, dude." Eraser says, "Besides, Cure had taken steps to prevent Feather from finding him." "What steps did he take?" "I don't understand. What are the steps he took? Explain that to me." Eraser says, "But when Holy busted him up from the inside. She yanked off his camouflage shield. Camouflage shield. The Feather adds in, yes, but it was still because of my negligence. It was my fault for taking no interest in my friend. I guess you could just come at it from the standpoint of she just always assumed they were on ball, and if they were in trouble, she'd just help out and use her abilities to find them and make sure they're okay. It just never really came up like that. At least that's how I can justify it. But Hermit does say, taking no interest, then can you really call them your friends? Nakama? Feather doesn't really answer that. Seems like she's gonna have to reassess the way she does things, essentially. Leave it to a form of government to have a massive oversight. Eraser does state, anyway, we can talk all we want about care later. Right now we have to do something about Aknoella. That swarm of dragons running amok out here is getting out of hand. Holy, back me up. You too, Eden Zero. Hermit informs Eraser it's going to take some time before we get our ship flying straight again. But okay, we owe you for helping us after all. And we see the Eden Zero down on the ground. I mean, it is missing one of its wings, so it's gonna take a hot minute to get that up and running. But Sister chimes in and says, Homura's warrior maid night gear is back, and you won't believe what she brought with her. Get to the hangar, now. Oh boy, here it comes. You have Homura's night gear setting down the dead moms, in addition to one alive mom. That's still really kind of messed up. Captain Connor, of course, is taken off guard. What? What be I seeing here? Bare naked ladies? I love that band. And Hermit promptly punches him in the face. Hey, come on, you can't just present naked ladies and have no one comment on that. Homura states, I will explain later. First, take these women. But Hermit cuts her off, saying, I was listening. I know all about it. Homura gets ready to head out, saying, then I shall return to Rebecca and the others. And Hermit wishes her well, saying, be careful. Naturally, Jin and Klein are taken off guard, with Jin saying, hey, what is this? Klein shockingly recognizes one of them as her mother, which takes Moscow off guard, with Jin adding in, wait, you mean our mother? And Klein adds, but our mother, I thought she was gone. Laguna also recognizes his mother and questions, but she was dead. How? And the most messed up statement possible, as Hermit says, there's also Wise's and Homura's mothers. Ziggy's been collecting dead mothers. Just damn! Jesus. And like, previously in the Hall of Dead Moms, with enough moms to literally account for every dead shonen protagonist mom in all of existence. Just the Hall of Dead Mothers. And Moscow says the obvious, talk about massively sick hobbies. Connor is stunned, speechless. He zooms in on Saint Fire Nox and calls her Rachel. What? So Saint Fire Nox's real name is Rachel. Interesting. Connor seems to know her. Oh god. Is Connor gonna be revealed to be like Rebecca's mother? I mean, Connor is Rebecca's mother. Rebecca's like grandfather or father or something? Hermit informs Connor that is Rebecca's mother. She's the only one who's still alive. Connor gazes at Saint Fire Nox and questions, what are you doing here? Laguna is puzzled, asking Connor, you know her? But in comes Sister stomping in her dominatrix gear saying, out of my way, we're getting her to the infirmary stat. Holy shit. I feel like that's a little offhand how this was handled, but Connor, as Sister just picks up Saint Fire Nox's tube, Connor tries to call out to Sister saying, no, wait, she be... And Sister just turns to him and says, your wife, I know. I'm like, okay, and Connor's Rebecca's father? What? Oh god, that just... See, now I gotta go back and like reread that first interaction Connor had with Rebecca. There was this strange atmosphere between them, I remember, but oh god, was it that apparent? Yeah, Laguna, Jin, Klein, they're all taken off guard, with one of them stating, but that would mean, yes, because sex makes babies. And Hermit states the obvious, Connor is Rebecca's father. And Connor doesn't really respond, which takes Jin off guard, who asks, what? You knew? And Klein questions, Rebecca, why didn't you tell her? Hermit simply states we were waiting for Connor to tell her himself. True, that's kind of something, the person's father should say something about. Oh, both parents alive? Connor shakingly states, The sister breaks this up saying, save it for after the battle. Right now, I'm gonna bring her back to life. You guys get the ship up and running. Yes, ignore your dead mothers. Ignore these startling revelations. We have a war to fight. God damn. The drama. Yeah, Connor just laments Rachel. And then he thinks Rebecca. So how did Rebecca end up off on her own? And Connor's weird involvement with the Edens 1 and Eden 0 over time. What is that about? There's all these odd mysteries. Like, for all the weird answers we've gotten, it's actually managed to double, triple the amount of questions than before. Oh, I get to say it. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Dead Moms, Rebecca looks around and just says out loud, everyone here is someone's mother. If we go through with Operation Planet Eater, Wise cuts her off saying, we already talked about this. And Rebecca responds, I know. I can understand her feeling icky about it. It's a whole ass icky situation. It's bad enough these are people who were robbed from their graves, but then to desecrate their bodies further. Like, this is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever seen. I've seen the most grotesque of murders. I watched Attack on Titan, Blood Sea, that one anime with the giant island of giant insects that got like really squicky. But there's just this other level of just effed up when you're just messing with people's corpses. The corpses of mothers. It's weird. It's weird, it's icky, and it just makes me feel weird inside. And Happy simply says, I'm sad to say it, but they're all dead. Thank you, Captain Obvious. And Ziggy's gonna use them for evil. It would be better to give them back to the stars. See, that's actually poignant. Better to just get rid of all of this than to have their bodies used. Rebecca states, give them back to the stars. That's a nice way of putting it. But why is my mother the only one? See, now there's a bit of that guilt. Wise comes in and says, when all the others are dead, is that what you're thinking? Rebecca tries to brush this off, saying, no, but Wise simply tells her, I don't know about Jin and them, but Homer and I both got to spend time with our mothers, even if it wasn't much. You didn't get that, Rebecca. Maybe the universe is telling you to make that time now. Damn. Well, Wise, your relationship with your mother was a lot better than Homer's in the long run. Like, Madame Kurenai was not a good person. We really don't know much about Laguna and Jin and Klein's moms. Rebecca laments, time with my mother. Meanwhile, Pino protecting Shiki from Ziggy. Shiki tries his best to move to Pino, but he got a whole ass broken leg. Pino tells Shiki, Master Ziggy was hacking into me to collect information about us. Of course, this takes Shiki off guard. But Pino adds, but he left a data trail behind him. Ziggy's hearing this is kind of baffled. He says, a data trail? Me? I would never be so careless. Pino states, you left me the key to defeating you. Shiki is taken off guard saying, what are you talking about? Ziggy wouldn't just hand us his own weakness unless, Shiki realizes and thinks, do you think maybe Ziggy knew he was going to go crazy? Yeah, that statement came up previously. Where did that statement come up? Before, that someone saying, do you think maybe Ziggy knew he was going to go crazy? Something happened to Ziggy that made him kind and adventurous from when he came when he came to this universe. And then something realigned his programming back to evil, essentially. Because his original mission was preservation, but then he set on this dark path. There's some weird secrets rattling around in that metal head of Ziggy's. As Shiki shouts out, maybe he would. Pino activates her EMP, as Ziggy simply says, you know that won't work on me. But Pino claps back saying, an electronic pulse set to follow a certain algorithm at a specific frequency. This is the key you gave me. Ziggy is shocked. Whoa, did Pino just overdrive? Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that. Even Ziggy's shocked. He's like, overdrive? Shiki shouts, Grandpa put that inside Pino to stop himself. Pino states, exactly. Master Ziggy still has his old personality inside him. That personality unlocked my memories. Pino hits Ziggy with the EMP as she says, you used to be my kind Master Ziggy. Please go back to who you were. And the power overwhelms Ziggy, and the dust settles, and Ziggy is back to his original self. He says, good job, Pino. It worked. Pino is happy. Shiki is shaken. And Ziggy simply says, Ziggy is asleep for now. This is our only chance. Kill me. Shit. This is bad. This is bad. Because there are still too many secrets. There are too many secrets and mystery. And especially now knowing this, Shiki is not going to want to do the deed. He resolved himself before when he thought Ziggy had just turned completely evil. But knowing that the good grandpa he had before was still in there to some extent fighting, the kind Ziggy from before was still in there, that's going to make Shiki hesitate. But that raises the question, why do these two separate entities of Ziggy exist? What caused this fracture? So this would at least explain that you had the good Ziggy, who was kind, caring. But was this the same Ziggy, the Ziggy that Shiki calls Grandpa? Was that still Shiki from the future? Shiki who made a terrible choice. Shiki whose mission was to find a way to preserve humanity. The same Shiki who found Elsie, who raised Shiki, who found Mother with the shining stars. Is that Ziggy the Shiki of the future? And what about the evil Ziggy? Why does he exist? What caused him to come into being? What changed the parameters of his mission the way it did? No, this isn't over. Not like this. This is either the Ziggy called Grandpa, or this is a trap. It's one of those two things. But all the twists and turns, I feel like something bad is about to happen. Especially after Wise's statement that this is a chance for Rebecca to get to know her mother. Hell, she might even get to know her father. But that raises the question, why was Connor working with Ziggy in a previous universe? What has Connor been doing in all of those universes? Why was Rebecca left behind? What was St. Fire Knox doing for years? At what point was she captured by Ziggy? I mean, to have collected all these dead moms, the Dark Stars had to have been, like, maybe working in the background, just taking all these moms for years, under the nose of who knows how many people. Something's wrong here. I don't like this. No. Something's bad. Something bad is about to happen. Something really, really bad is about to happen. God. And the worst part is, by next chapter, I'm not going to have this same feeling of foreboding. I'm not going to be thinking about that, but it's just, something is just wrong. Something is seriously wrong, and something bad is about to happen, and it's going to rock Rebecca's world, and we're going to feel sad about it. Either Connor dying, St. Fire Knox dying, like, no. Too many things are starting to just kind of work out a little bit, and no, I don't trust it. I have no faith in it. Because honestly, the revelation that Connor is Rebecca's father actually kind of makes sense, because he was looking for his daughter previously, right? Although I will admit, if we come out of this with St. Fire Knox never waking up, I'll be pissed. I will be pissed. To come this close to both of Rebecca's parents? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments section below. Also remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. There's a lot to think about, but until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.